Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're looking at a massive, completely baffling trend that is taking over modern parenting. I mean, parents are literally paying $80 for a wooden box that does absolutely nothing. No microchips, zero screens, no sounds whatsoever. So, how on earth did a completely inert block of wood become the ultimate parenting hack? Let's get right into it. Okay, let's dive into this. $80. Yep, that is the actual price tag attached to what an increasing number of parents are claiming is, hands down, the absolute smartest purchase they're making today. And look, we're not talking about some complex robotic learning tool here or a tablet loaded up with the latest educational software. We are talking about $80 for a block of wood. It's kind of staggering when you think about the utility of it, but as we're going to see, the utility isn't really the point at all. So picture a typical playroom today. On one side, you have what kids are totally used to, the high-tech smart toys. Hyper-stimulating screens, flashing LEDs, and apps that constantly ping, reward, and just gamify every single second of their attention. But then contrast that with the newcomer, a totally silent, completely featureless wooden box. It doesn't connect to Wi-Fi, and it definitely doesn't need a software update. And yet, this totally inert object is just taking over high-end playrooms everywhere. Section 1. Recreating a slower childhood. So you might be wondering why the sudden shift away from all that amazing technology. Well, what we are witnessing on a massive cultural level is the great screen backlash. Basically, after years of leaning heavily on iPads and smart entertainment to just, keep kids occupied, a huge and growing wave of parents are actively ditching those devices for intentionally boring alternatives. The whole idea is to strip away those constant dopamine hits of the digital world to try and recreate a slower-paced childhood, one that honestly looks a lot more like the 1980s and 90s, where just being bored was actually the catalyst for imagination. So, the crucial point is, we're seeing all these specific retro items making a massive comeback to replace screens. I mean, we're actually seeing families install literal landlines in their kitchens so kids can call their friends without needing a smartphone. It's wild. Parents are handing out paper maps in the car instead of using GPS navigation. Physical board games are completely replacing multiplayer online lobbies. And of course, there are those beautifully sanded, entirely battery-free wooden toys. These old-school analog items are basically the new tools of a quiet rebellion happening right inside the home. Part 2. The social media irony. Now, before we get too lost in this wholesome, nostalgic vision of an unplugged life, there is a massive record-scratch contradiction right at the heart of this movement. As one of our sources points out, going analog has become its own aesthetic, marketed and monetized. Just think about the deep, honestly kind of comical irony here. You've got content creators setting up tripods, adjusting their ring lights, and filming themselves unboxing these battery-less analog setups. And why? Well, so they can go viral on the exact same hyper-stimulating, algorithm-driven, high-tech feeds that they claim to be rebelling against. It's wild, right? This perfectly captures the modern hypocrisy. You have the analog rebellion happening in the physical world, which is, a genuine desire to disconnect. But it is entirely packaged for the digital broadcast. These screen-free home tour videos are ironically racking up millions and millions of views on the most visually demanding platforms out there. We literally have people spending hours staring at screens just to watch other people brag about not looking at screens. You can't make this stuff up. Section 3. Nostalgia as a luxury status. And this brilliantly illustrates the business side of things. Naturally, where there's a viral internet trend fueled by parental anxiety, there's an entire industry just waiting to profit off of it. Now, traditional tech marketing has basically always been an arms race of more, right? More features, brighter screens, longer-lasting batteries. But analog premium marketing completely flips the script. The entire focus is the total absence of tech. They pitch the raw wooden materials and this whole concept of screen-free luxury. So the total lack of technology has somehow been transformed into a highly lucrative product feature. Which leads us to a super fascinating business concept known as anti-marketing. This is where brands sell the literal absence of technology as a high-end status symbol. And honestly, this strategy is genius. It allows companies to charge premium prices for a product specifically because it does less. So when you buy that $80 wooden box, you aren't paying for microchips or years of research and development. Nope, you're basically paying for the privilege of owning a product that proudly does absolutely nothing. Part 4. Kids or parental performance. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how bringing all these threads together kind of says the quiet part out loud. Screen-free is essentially a luxury label now. Ditching screens is no longer just this humble, quiet parenting choice happening behind closed doors. Oh no, it's become an elite, highly broadcasted status marker. It tells the world, hey, I have the time, the infinite patience, and the financial resources to curate a perfectly analog environment for my kid. It's become just as much of a status symbol as a designer handbag. Which leaves us with one final, totally provocative thought. Is this $80 wooden box actually about the kids at all? Or is it really about parents needing a brand new aesthetic to perform on the internet? As you scroll through your own feeds today and navigate your personal relationship with technology, it's definitely something worth thinking about. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I will catch you next time.